And we are back here on the GameSpot stage, E3 2009 Day 3. I'm joined by Peter Sokol, is that right? Peter Sokol, you're the community manager over at id,
That's
right?
correct.
And we have Matt Nelson helping us with our demo today for Wolfenstein.
Yep.
Xbox 360, you guys brought it over. You already got a little idea of what you're going to be showing, so please, by all means, get started.
Okay, well, we're going to be showing you guys Wolfenstein, and there are obviously plenty of Wolfenstein fans out there. But for people who aren't too familiar with the franchise, it's a supernatural science fiction first-person shooter. The franchise has always been about fast-paced combat, and so we wanted to make sure that was intact this time around, but we've also ratcheted up the supernatural stuff, so we're going to be showing a lot of that in our demo today.
Excellent.
To set up the story a little bit, it takes place right after the events of Return to Castle Wolfenstein, so BJ Blazkowicz, the hero of the franchise, the one-man army, he's killed Heinrich, and the Nazis are back into researching this dark science, and they come across this energy source called the Black Sun. The problem is that to get there, they have to utilize a dimension called the Veil. So they're trying to create weapons, create soldiers, and win the war. And eventually, early on in the game, BJ comes across an amulet that he can use and tap into the Veil and sort of throw the dark science of the Nazis back at them. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, so what we're about to show you guys is about a third of the way through the game. There's a portion at the hospital level. Yeah, nice. Raven's working on the game really hard, and obviously they're pretty good at showing off violence, so it's entertaining. But so yeah, at this point, BJ's been talking with a local resistance group called the Christ Out Circle, and they've asked him to go investigate these nasty experiments going on at this hospital. So that's why BJ's here. And you can also see at the bottom left of the screen, there's the amulet, so in terms of the UI presentation. Treasure hunting has always been a big part of the Wolfenstein franchise dating back to Wolf 3D, so we wanted to keep that intact. And in this game, all the treasure you find goes towards upgrading all of your weapons and all of your Veil powers. As you can see right there, Matt was using Mire, which is one of the powers in the game that allows BJ to slow down time around him. So he avoided the MG fire with the Mire, and he took out that MG nest.
Hands up!
So there are various puzzle elements in the game, and one of them is showing up right now. The screen's gone black and white. We can't use the Veil powers. And we need to figure out why that is. The throat shot, always.
Did you hear it?
I'm sorry?
Did you hear it?
Yeah. So the Nazis have figured out that BJ's using the Veil against them, so they've created these machines called Veil inhibitors that shut down BJ's ability to use the Veil in combat. So as the player gets more used to the Veil, that'll create a puzzle element when you shut down, and you have to go find those, seek them out, so you can progress through the combat situations. And Matt just used Veil Sight to pass through that door. We'll talk more about that in a second. But one of the great things about the Wolfenstein franchise has always been an escalation of enemies and an escalation of firepower, so the enemies get bigger and nastier, but so do the weapons. So we're going to show a few examples of that here as well.
Take whatever you want. Just don't kill me. You will be coming to see what has happened. You'll never escape.
So that was the assassin. He's one of the enemies that you'll come across in the game. He also utilizes the Veil, but it gives him more of a stealth ability. He can pop in and out of the Veil at will, sneak up behind you and start slicing and dicing it. It's pretty quick, too. And as I mentioned before, Matt was using Veil Sight. He activated it and that wall disappeared. There are a lot of black sun symbols throughout the game that you'll see, and it's a clue to the player that the Nazis have sort of hidden paths. And for people who like to explore, you'll come across a lot of different combat approaches. You'll find ladders and walls will disappear. You'll also find hidden areas with treasure and stuff. So we're gonna show you guys the Tesla cannon here in a second. It's one of the fun toys you get in the game. Pretty effective. They took some Nazis. And we're actually going to mix it in a little bit with the particle cannon, which is a great example of supernatural weapons in the game.
Thank you, Nikolai Tesla.
What's that?
No, just...
So as you see, the particle cannon kind of dissolves Nazis on contact. It's always a blast to use. One of the great things about the game, I touched on the upgrades a little bit, is it allows the players to kind of approach combat in the ways they would prefer. So in this case, Matt's bought a silencer for his MP40. And so we can run around this area of the hospital. The power's gone down. We can go into Veil Sight, which will help the enemies stand out. They can't see a thing, so we're going to probably do some stealth kills here with the silencer. You could bash them, you could sneak by, and that kind of thing.
Essentially like supernatural night vision.
Yeah, it's essentially, and all the Veil powers in the game are upgradable as well. So we'll show you shield in a little bit. It pops up a barrier in front of BJ and absorbs bullet fire. So if you're the type of guy who likes to run in guns blazing, it allows you to do that. And at its base level, it absorbs bullet fire. But later in the game, as you upgrade it, it also serves as a battering ram. So if you can just run in and charge guys, they'll go flying, they'll start disintegrating. A lot of really cool stuff there.
Questions as we continue from the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. I just touched on
a
this.
good part.
I'm sorry?
We're getting to a good part.
Yeah, we're about to see some more of the supernatural guys. Right there you can see Matt's killing the sniffers. They're basically these early Nazi experiments that failed, and they've been using them to find crystals for Black Sun energy. But yeah, questions are great. Go ahead.
Christopher wants to know, is this game going to be exclusive to the 360, or are we going to be seeing it on another console later?
No, it'll actually be releasing simultaneously on August 4th for the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. So we're about to see Matt use shield here on his enemies. As you can see, the bullets are being absorbed by his shield, and later on you can actually upgrade it so the bullets will bounce back at your enemies.
Daniel Rohr, he was asking about the thing on the left. You already kind of talked about that a little bit, how that's working.
On the 360, that's the Veil amulet. That's on all versions of the game. It's basically mapped to the D-pad on the console controller. So if you press right on it, you can see the little icons on the amulet. To the right, that's Meyer, down is Sight, and up is Shield. And we also have another Veil power that you acquire later in the game called Empowered.
Every test subject that passes through the portal still returns to us altered. My God, it's the spy.
Andrew Peterson at Miami wants to know, is Hitler in the game?
As a person, no, he is not in the game. He's in paintings, so you can take some anger out on him. But for the story we were wanting to tell, we wanted to really make a more compelling story for the Wolfenstein universe this time around. So we focused on putting that stuff together. And for this story that we're telling, it didn't fit to have Hitler come back, and plus we killed him in the first one.
What's happening? The craziness on the screen there.
This is one of the cutscenes. It's introducing one of the more supernatural enemies in the game. It's called the Altered. Yeah. Essentially, one of the doctors got tossed into a Black Sun portal and just came back completely deformed, and now BJ's got to fight him. But we're kind of holding off on doing that for E3. We're going to show more of that stuff as it unravels later.
Excellent. Peter, that's awesome. I'm going to throw a couple more questions while I got you.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Joe out of London wants to know, what do you got planned for Wolfenstein and its online component?
As far as the multiplayer, Return to Castle Wolfenstein was huge, both on PC and Xbox Live. So we're taking the elements that made Return to Castle Wolfenstein such a great experience online, and we're incorporating the Veil into that. As far as specific details, we're getting into more of that stuff soon. So just keep your eyes and ears out, and we'll be getting
This is actually, I wonder if you have an options menu or not, but decent question nonetheless. Rigro Cartes wants to know, why do the Germans talk in English?
Well, my understanding of it is you're playing the game through the perspective of BJ Blazkowicz, right? So you're hearing him translate it internally. It's like an internal Babelfish or something. So yeah.
It's like the part of the movie at the beginning, like the first minute, and then all of a sudden,
Exactly.
Valkyrie, right? You saw Valkyrie, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Stevens in England wants to know, how does the gold work?
Okay, so treasure hunting dating back to Wolf 3D, you'd run down the wall, hit spacebar, and treasures would open up. Then we had that in Return to Castle Wolfenstein as well. This time around, there's a lot of different kinds of treasure. You'll find pieces of gold. You'll find military intelligence. You'll also find these tomes. And the more of that stuff you collect, you go to the black market, which is one of the groups you interact with throughout the game, and you can purchase upgrades for your weapons and veil powers. There's a ton of that stuff throughout the game world, and we allow players to explore. So if you're the type of guy who likes to get everything, it's going to take you a while to find all of it, but obviously there's some reward to that because you can buy all the upgrades and deck out your arsenal. So.
Speaking of that, just to save some time, a lot of the questions I could see pertain to, a lot of the breakdown of the stats, like how long is the game, how many new weapons, all that stuff. Anything off the top of your head that you'd care to share for us?
I mean, it really, the game really lets you play how you want to play. We have side missions in the game that you can go on. So even when you're wandering around the hub cities in the game, you'll come in contact with certain people who ask you to go, help them out with certain missions, and you can if you want, but you don't have to. If you want to just run through the story, that's okay too. And in terms of the exploration, if you want to go find treasures and things like that, you can also do that, and that will add a lot of time to the game. So it really just depends on how long you want to play with it.
Right on. Peter, thank you so much for coming by,
Absolutely.
as well as Matt. One question for you: since you are the community manager at id, I'm sure there's quite a few people that you communicate with on a regular basis. Is there anything you want to say to those folks now before you go?
I know the Wolfenstein fans are hollering about the multiplayer. I'm on the forums all the time. Sure. We hear you guys, yeah. So we're working really hard on it. We're really excited. We can't wait to put it in everybody's hands.
Fantastic, Peter. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks so much, Matt. The game is Wolfenstein. It's coming out for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC, and that is all happening when? August 4th?
And also, to touch on the upgrades a little bit more real quick, we just released Wolfenstein 3D on the Xbox Live Arcade, and it's coming out today on the PlayStation Network.
Oh, wow.
And we have a linked achievement in there, so if you're playing through the game, you'll get $1,000 tied to the Wolfenstein game. So once you get that, you can buy upgrades for your weapons and veil powers right away.
Super cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thanks.
E3 2009 continues for us, and we are going to be checking out right now this crazy thing that does putting you in the movie stuff. It's called U-Star, and Jamie Kennedy, of all people, was there when we went to go by and check it out, and he gave us the demo. So here we go.